Hey everyone, it's Amy again with Belly Dance for Busy Women, also Bright Eyes Belly Dance. And I have here a business partner in Pod Goat. This is Lissa, and she is a are you still a belly dance? Do you still belly dance, or is that?
No, I gave that up a few years back.
Okay, so she's a former belly dancer and current anatomy instructor, and she loves all types of movement, but she wants you to love your anatomy. So I brought her on and enjoy it. Yes, enjoy your anatomy. She also wants to make you a t-shirt or something. So I'm bringing her on because she is best situated to really explain what's going on with the different workouts that we're doing and give you some really great tips on how to avoid hurting yourself, both in belly dance and in life. So the challenge that we're doing is put a new twist on fitness, and I am going to be doing twists, and I'm going to be doing some very smaller shimmies, but I wanted her to talk to you about how to avoid injury, especially when you're using repetitive motion, and maybe even how to notice, like, to stop yourself before you get to an injury. Like, pushing through isn't always the best idea. So I'm going to let Lissa talk now. I just wanted to introduce her briefly, and then she's also going to tell you how you can work with her if you are really interested in how to better know your anatomy. So take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Amy. Hi, again, I'm Lissa Michalak. This, by the way, is my lovely assistant, Napoleon Bony Parts. He is he's currently all taped up for a different class that I'm teaching right now. So I was a professional belly dancer for about 10 years, mostly Turkish. It's Turkish Silk Road style and tribal Gothic, although I do have, I have had some salting of Egyptian in there as well. So, I do actually know what I'm talking about belly dance wise. Otherwise, I have been a personal trainer for, closing on 15 years. Pilates instructor, Pilates teacher trainer, somatic movement therapist. So it's a little bit of a different twist on how the body works. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Look, I'm easily amused, okay? And I hope you are too. So what I'm going to talk about today is two things. We're going to talk about specifically the muscles that go into the hip twist, and you can't see this at all. I'll have to back up so you guys can see my movement. But specifically the muscle actions that go into the hip twist, and also specifically how the posture to work with in Middle Eastern dance. Because as Middle Eastern dancers, we use the posture that our choreographers tell us to use. And depending on your style, it may or may not be super good for your actual spine. So I'm gonna open with posture because this is kind of the most basic thing to do. But the first thing you need to remember is when you are off stage, you are off stage. I had talked to a ton of dancers like, but I love to just dance through life. Yeah, I love to dance through life too. But if I dance through life with my chest lifted, my butt sticking out, then I'm going to dance through life with a busted lumbar disc, which actually is in fact exactly what I'm doing right now. Yeah. So I am a cautionary tale here, my friends. Do not dance through life off stage with the same body postures you do on stage. Let me back up and zoom out with my high-tech camera action here by standing back. So a lot of postures, especially tribal postures, are very lifted in the chest. You'll see when I lift in the chest, the first thing that happens, my booty sticks out. Now this looks awesome, completely awesome, especially on stage. However, like I said, if you look at the lumbar spine right here, your low back, if you don't have back pain, this is where back pain happens. If you do have back pain, I'm preaching to the choir, you know exactly what I'm talking about already. Notice what happens when I lift my chest. So my fingers get closer together, which means that my lower back spine is shortening. All those muscles in there are shortening. Now, what you may or may not be able to see is that when I lift my chest and stick my butt out, lift butt, all these muscles here are shortening too. Now, all these muscles in here, this is exactly what we need to be open for hip twists. Because if you are here and you're doing your hip twist, you are going to bust something so fast, it's not even funny. Faster than you could say rock sharky. So do not when you're standing, you especially want to, like, yes, you might be standing, you might have your chest lifted, you don't have to have your chest pulling forward, because you see how I'm forward of my body here. I'm actually forward of my body, and I'm off balance. I can still have a lifted chest and a very lifted posture, but now I can feel that my weight is balanced. Hopefully I still look awesome, but the important part is I can do my hip twists and not hurt myself. So when you are dancing, pay really good attention to what Amy is telling you about posture, because it's not just lifting the chest forward like, whoop, here they are, check them out. That's what your costume is for. You actually want to release your chest a little bit and let your head lift up. So your basic posture points to keep an eye on: ears should be more or less lined up with the ball of your shoulder here. And it's literally a ball. This is what it looks like naked. Actually, this is what it looks like naked, because Boney's all taped up on that side. Your ear hole should be over here. You can see, actually, yeah, if you look sideways, Boney's actually in pretty good shape. Ear hole, ball of shoulder, middle of your belly. So halfway between here and here is actually right where your lumbar spine is. It goes real deep. And to this bony bump on your hip, which, again, it's good you can still see this. This is what it looks like naked. So this is called the greater trochanter of the femur. I don't care if you remember that, but I do care that you remember that this bony bump should line up with this ball of the shoulder, should line up with this ear hole. And that all should come down and end up, excuse me, let me borrow your leg here, should end up right here, right in front of your ankle. That's the bottom of your line. If you can line those points up, so you can't see my ankles, even when I'm on releve, I can get the weight going straight down. Greater trochanter, ball of the shoulder, ear hole. I'm tall, I am lined up, and I can move whatever way I want to move, and I'm going to have a nice long dance career because I'm not going to hurt myself. That's important. So that is basically your posture 101. Everything else, like I said, listen to what Amy tells you. She's good at this. Second thing is the actual muscles involved in the hip twist. So, all right. One thing is that you always have, look, my Zoom is really technical here.
Yeah, I like your Zoom.
So you always have your anatomy book with you at all times. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. Holding, like checking to see what muscles are working with your extremely sensitive anatomy sensing tools. It's not cheating. It's smart. I was actually in a class with Eric Franklin, a very highly regarded anatomy teacher, who was talking about, all right, when you squat, what happens to your sits bones? We're all sitting here like, he's like, why is nobody squatting? Why are none of you checking? And we're like, we're allowed to do that? So I'm here to say, yes, you are allowed to do that. Here is your official permission slip saying you are allowed to do that. There you go. Officially allowed to do that. So when you're doing your hip twist, and there's a ton of, once you go up on your toes, then there's a ton of leg and hip calf muscles that are working. But most of what I'm going to talk about is these torso muscles through here. When you do your hip twist, you're actually you're specifically working this muscle in front. So if you imagine you're putting your hands into your pocket, one leg goes forward and you're going to internally rotate the knee, you're going to feel this muscle tighten. This muscle is called your tensor fascia lata. Tense fascists drink lattes. And this is my friend Chris, the psychotic massage therapist, who I love to death. And I will never, ever, ever forget tense fascists drink lattes. So the reason I'm telling you the name of this muscle is because what it does is it tenses the fascia lata. You may have heard a different name for the fascia lata, which is iliotibial band or IT band, which means that this little muscle right here goes all the way down the outside of your knee and lands right there below your knee. So if your tense fascias are drinking too many lattes and they're getting super tense, you're going to start pulling on your knee joint, and that is going to suck. So when you are doing hip twists, two things you want to do. One, you want to balance both sides.
Yes.
It's very easy to start doing, start practicing on one side, like, oh, this is the side that I always like. Then this tensor fascia lata gets overdeveloped, and it will literally start to pull your pelvis out of place. You have joints in your pelvis, and when the muscles are imbalanced, well, it starts to pull the bones out of place, and then you are in a world of hurt, trust me on this one. Don't be that. Don't be like me. So the things that you can do, shoot, I should have brought a foam roll. You can bring a foam roll or a small, like, relatively firm ball, and you can roll out the side of your leg. That really helps a lot. You can, if you're feeling really masochistic, you can do it with a tennis ball. I would not recommend that to start off with because it's going to hurt like crazy. But you can take that little tennis ball and stick it right in here and roll it around. And then here, because you want to be symmetrical.
Yes.
And the other thing that you can do is take your anatomy sensing tools, putting them right here. You're also going to notice that this is a hardcore ab exercise, which is awesome. When I started belly dancing, I never had, those cool little lines right down the front of your belly before. I never had that before. I started belly dancing, I'm like, look, I get the lines on the belly, yeah! Because you are working the heck out of these muscles. These are your oblique muscles. Yep. There are two layers of them. There are the external obliques and the internal obliques, and they work together because they cross different ways. The external obliques run from the top to the bottom, from the outside to the inside. And the internal obliques, like you're putting your hands in your inside pockets, they run from the top to the bottom, outside, or inside to outside. So they go like this, which means that when you twist, you can feel both of these working. But what you're getting is this line and this line. So they're working together. One thing you can do, one to make your abs look really awesome and will take some of the pressure off of your tense fascia strengthening lattes, is that you can really work the abs on these twists. So if you make sure, again, your whole ball of shoulder, greater trochanter ankle, abs are working, it's going to be hard, you're going to look awesome, and you're going to look awesome afterwards. If you're interested in more anatomy stuff, I kind of like anatomy. I get a total bang out of teaching it. And I do it a lot. I do it for belly dancers. If you've heard of Belly Queen, I teach the anatomy for their teacher trainings. So I know belly dance, I know anatomy. We do a lot of this. And if you come to Facebook and look for Somatic Anatomy's Experiential Anatomy Party, we in the Anatomy Party are having a very good time. We are teaching about anatomy. There is a rotator cuff anatomy class going on actually at this very moment. Mm-hmm. You will, if you miss the actual time of the class, it will still be up there for you to take a look at. And there's always something interesting going on in there. And if there isn't at the moment, hang out and it will come back. Questions, comments, etc. You can always find me at somaticanatomy.com. And once again, the question is, are you enjoying your anatomy? And if you are not, come talk to me. We can fix that. All right. Amy,
thank you.
Back to you, girl.
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
And we have Lissa here, and then later on we're going to have Delang, and we're going to have more people helping you not just belly dance and not just get fit, but create a lifestyle around it that you can love.
Oh, yes.